Oh yeah, we got ourselves a chainsaw video today, guys. Long overdue. Brand new Stihl MS661 Beast, and we got a tree to cut. We're gonna have some fun. This is gonna be an overview, first look, and review of the Stihl MS661 Beast of a chainsaw. All right?
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life, times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss.
Welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. If this is your first time here, please pound that like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel. It helps, I promise. You can help build more content here on the farm. So if this is your first time to the Stoney Ridge Farm, this is a first generation farm project here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. And I sat by the campfire last night and I've got a hoarse voice. So this is gonna be a lot less talking and a lot more working. It's gonna be a good time. So I just picked up a very cool chainsaw. This is, again, the Stihl MS661. This is a beast of a saw, man. It's absolutely awesome. Check that out. Oh, got the Roll-O-Matic, made in Germany, full-on commercial saw. I have never even started this thing. So it's full of gas, it's ready to rock and roll. And we're gonna be cutting down a tree over here. We'll show you the tree and then we'll kind of get into the saw and how it behaves, and I'll give you a little bit of food for thought once I get done running this thing. I've got toys all set up out here too. So I've got Tater, the dump truck over there, and I've got Skitty Bop, my little John Deere skid steer over there, and we're gonna toss the drone up in the air, and there's a tree that I've got to get rid of. So first, let's go look at that tree, then we'll come back to the saw. So we're right here in the front yard, we're right by the garden, and the wind is just right. So I had to kind of do this video impromptu. You can see the flag back there, and the flag, where is it? There it is. It's blowing this direction. That's the way I want this tree to fall, and this is what we call a post oak. It's a post oak, and I've got a willow oak right here beside it. So people often refer to this as a pin oak, but it's actually called a willow oak, and the other one is called a post oak. This post oak has all sorts of trash in it. So I've got a cool metal detector. We're gonna show you that here in just a little bit. This is a pretty big, substantial, nice tree. It's gonna make great firewood. So we'll be cutting it up, loading it on the dump truck, and we're gonna take it over to the neighbors who burns firewood all winter long. I don't have a wood stove because my house is so small. I don't have a wood stove in there. So this is the tree, and the goal is to drop that tree with the wind just about where that table is. So that'll be pretty cool. It looks smaller than it is. Once we get cut into it, you'll see it's about, I'm gonna say 16 to 18 inches through, something like that. This tree, it's blocking the garden. It's shading the garden, and I want to leave room for that beautiful willow oak to flourish, and they're just too close together. As you can see, they're gonna start interfering with each other right here. So we're gonna go ahead, get rid of this guy because it's got trash in it. It has old clothesline in it. It's got railroad spikes, all sorts of stuff. Let's go check out the saw. So this is the beast of a saw. This is, again, the MS661. This is at the price point around 15 to 1700 bucks in this saw. That's with all the stuff like the oil and everything that you get when you leave out of the dealership. So it's an expensive saw. This saw is from Eden Lawnmower, which is close to us here in Eden, North Carolina. Pretty cool. So wanted to show you a few of the cool features of this saw. This is a beast of a machine. It's fairly lightweight for the size, and when we get up to the pro grade saws here with Stihl, you start seeing this cross right here. That means you got a pro grade awesome saw. Really, really happy with all my chainsaws, but I don't have a Stihl Pro saw, and I needed one. So a neighbor of mine bought this and never used it. Thank you so much, Watson. I appreciate it, buddy. This is your saw, and we're gonna put it to work. We're gonna show it off today. It's gonna be really cool. So everything's ready to rock and roll here. I haven't started the saw. Pretty simple. You've got a compression release right here. It's got the, what they call, it's a 3/8 inch chain. We call this the 24-inch bar right here at 24, 25 inch. Stihl has some odd measurements. Again, this saw is made in Germany. It is a pro saw, it is awesome. A few features that we need to get out of the way right here. This has the Stihl electronic carburetor adjustment. In other words, you'll never have to worry about adjusting the carburetor for heat, for cold, for altitude, for whatever condition you might be working in. This thing optimizes the fuel usage of this machine and therefore saves you money on fuel, saves money, and makes it much more efficient and better on the environment. It's just a great saw altogether. Some of the cool stuff that I like, we've got the compression release right here. The grip feels really, really nice in your hand. I haven't fired the saw up, but everything that I read says the grip is heated, so hopefully it is heated. It's got a suspension system in there. It's supposed to be really good. It doesn't matter what the saw looks like. It matters how easy it is to take care of and maintain. So I've got my scrinch over here. Right there it is. Got my scrinch right here. I fully anticipate after using this saw for about 3 minutes that we're gonna have to tighten down our chain just a little bit. That's just a break-in period of this chain. We'll adjust right here, and then there's an adjuster right there to tighten our chain down. We also have a fully adjustable oiler on this machine. It's right down here, up underneath here. I'm all about slinging the maximum amount of oil, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this thing wide open on the bar oil. Got a pretty cool tool over here I want to show you too before we get started. It's a chainsaw, gas can, toolbox, oil container, all in one. I'll post a link to this down the video description, and I'll post a link to this. This is not a sponsored video by Stihl. This is me working on my farm and doing what I love, man. That's what it's all about. Something really cool to access the air filter here. It's super easy to access. All you gotta do, it's no tools. You just twist, pop it off, boom, good to go. It's got the cartridge type air filter right here, really nice. Pop it on, replace it, blow it out, whatever it is that you wanna do. I'd say if you do buy this saw, go ahead and buy a couple of these air filters because you're gonna need it. You're probably a pro guy if you're buying this kind of saw anyway, so good little point to make. Pretty simple, the run-of-the-mill Stihl switch right here, you press down to turn it to choke, you pull the trigger, bam. So we go full choke, we give it 1 pull or 2 pulls until it fires, then we go half choke, pull it, let it warm up, and bam, we're in the woods, we're ready to rock and roll. So, without further ado, I say we fire this thing up. You can go on the website and check out all the specs. What it's all about is what it feels like in your arms, in your hands, how it works, and whether this big dog will eat like it looks like it will. This is a very, very nice chainsaw. It's the nicest chainsaw I've ever had. I'm super proud of having it. Let's set it to the side. We're gonna show you guys the coolest gas tank ever. So this is by Husqvarna. So for all you super Stihl fans, tell Stihl to make one of these. I don't know why Stihl doesn't make one. Maybe Husky has the patent on this. So this is your bar oil, this is your mixed gas, and you never ever have to screw with a cap, literally screw with a cap. This undoes right here and you pour your bar oil in. This one, you just press down. So you stick it in the tube, it presses down, when it fills up, it stops. Really, really simple. All of your tools, your chainsaw tools, your scrinches, your files and stuff, they all fit right in here. And there's a little toolbox right here. We don't have to oil our chain on this particular machine, but there's a toolbox in here, and I've got my bar oil or bar grease inside there. So very, very cool, simple design right there. I'll say it's spendy. It is spendy, but man, it eliminates the need for a chainsaw toolbox. You've got a little hooks right here so you can put it on your on a strap and carry it on your shoulder, go in the woods, and you've got everything in one tiny package like this. What a great, well thought out piece of equipment. I thought, if I had thought of this, we would call it the Stoney Ridge tank. Pretty cool, guys. Well, let's get busy. We're gonna go ahead and fire this saw up. We'll give it its first test run, and we're gonna drop that tree. We'll go ahead and set her down. I'm gonna make sure everything's all topped off. This has the pretty cool little system on the fuel filler. You flip that little tab up and you open it. Do you hear the hiss? It just hisses. They all do, okay? Both Husky and Stihl. So, and this is our bar oil right here. So we're about half full on both. We're gonna go ahead and top both of these guys off with that cool little fuel tank I had. Set this guy down here. Always fill it up on the ground, because if you fill it up on the bed of your truck, you're gonna get bar oil on your truck. We'll shake this guy a little bit, drop him in, and it's full. That's it. Just that easy, just that simple, that quick. Open up the oil side and top off the oil. All right, I'm the world's worst at spilling bar oil, but I didn't spill any that time, so that's cool. Set this guy over there to the side, flip it up on its end. I'm gonna hit the compression release. I'm gonna grab her right here, and we've got her in full choke all the way down, tug. That's it. We'll put it in half choke. Woo! That's a good looking saw, baby. You hear it. You hear what it sounds like. Man. Oh, Daddy like it. So for all you guys, all you chainsaw-ophiles, I'm gonna leave that there and let it warm up to operating temperature before I go cutting. You don't wanna over rev a brand new saw like that, so we'll let it work for just a minute. First thing I'm gonna do, and you're gonna watch all this, is I'm gonna cut back some of these limbs in here because I can't get to where I need to be to get the tree down. What a gorgeous afternoon. So here is the tool that I'm gonna be using, and this is a metal detector right here. This is like a wand. You can see my belt loop right there. This is a wand, and I use this on the sawmill over here. I've got a Wood-Mizer LT40. I use it on the sawmill to detect metal in a log that I think might have some metal in it. And once we get this thing limbed up down low, we'll go ahead and scan it and make sure that we don't hit a nail or any kind of debris. This thing will scan in about that deep. So I'll post a link to this also in the video description in case you want to get one. I think it's like 15 bucks, man. What a great insurance policy for your chainsaw or for your sawmill. Pretty cool. It's called a Garrett Super Scanner. Super Scan. So many fun, cool tools that we're gonna be using today. So I've got my chainsaw protective gear and my chaps on right here. I also have some steel toe boots on. Really nice stuff. Guys, it's getting close to Christmas time. Ladies and gentlemen, if your wife runs a saw or you run a saw, it's Christmas time. This is awesome. If you don't like your husband, don't buy him anything like this. If you do, get him some safety gear, man. It only takes a split second for that saw to kick back and hit you in the face. And it's just so dangerous, guys. So you gotta be really, really careful. Pay attention to what the heck you're doing and wear the appropriate safety gear. This is a lot sharper than the skin on your leg. Ask my dad. Yeah, he's been hospitalized for it. Let's fire up the saw and get busy. Yeah, one pull, one pull. Okay, we're all limbed up, and this is where our metal detector comes into play. I know where I'm gonna cut it, and it's gonna be about waist high here, so we're gonna try and drop it that direction. Man, the first 8 feet of this is fantastic, so it's going on the sawmill. This is a post oak. It's a white oak called a post oak, and they grow really, really slow. They're really, really tough. They're really, really gnarly. So that's why we call it a post oak. It takes them forever to grow. You can get a tree this big, and it might be 70 years old. Big Daddy! I got a mess to clean up, man. So that's where we get our toys out. So we're gonna cut this up and get the toys out and load it up in the dump truck. Yeah, baby, she bucked up nice. What I've got to do here is take the skid loader, and I'm gonna scoop up all the brush and just form a big pile over here. I'll take that brush and put it back over in the woods back here. Don't really need to worry about that. Then we'll get the stuff that's good for firewood, throw it in the, man, I'm looking, it looks like a yellow jacket's nest in there. Maybe not. So we'll take what's good for firewood, we'll throw it in the back of Tater, and we'll take it over to the neighbor's house. So got a little more work to do. It's a good time. All right, feedback on the saw. Absolutely a pleasure to run. It is a little bit heavy. However, I love it. I absolutely love it. When I was cutting that oak, and again, this is a hard post oak tree. It just chewed through that thing like butter, man. No problem, no bogging, no matter how hard I push on it. We dropped the tree in exactly the perfect spot. I mean, I couldn't be happier, man. What a great saw. My buddy did give me a great deal on that thing, so I didn't pay quite 1,700 bucks for it, but man, super happy with that thing. We'll finish her up. Contact. Well, we pretty much got the job done here. I've got to clean up that big brush pile, take it up and dump it in the woods. All good, all that's good. The 661 is a beast, man. I am in love. Thank you so much, man. So I've got a 572 XP Husqvarna. We might do a comparison video in the future on these two saws. This thing is nice, man. Really nice. I recommend it to anybody. It runs great. We'll see how it performs over the years, but this is a pro saw. I just about guarantee I'll have this thing when I'm 80 years old, man. Good stuff. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm today. I've had a little bit of fun with you. We got a little bit of work done. I got to take Tater over and dump the logs at the neighbor's house, and then he'll cut them up for firewood. So good way to get a mess out of my way and a good way to help out a neighbor. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Please pound that like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos with like-minded people. I'd love to have you back. Woo!
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Hey, super scared. Whoa, whoa, booyah!
I just wanna fly.
Is the GoPro on? Can you please be on? You gotta go in here, bud.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Woo! Hey, Daddy. Woo, Daddy. I forgot to turn the camera off. Bye-bye.